So, we're starting something a little bit new, but it is something that I think you've seen in your algebra class before. And we're going to do the majority of it on the calculator, so that should help. If you get confused by calculators and you want to learn to do it by hand, I'm perfectly happy to show you how to do that. But we're going to start with the calculator, okay? Sound good? Alright, the first thing, does anybody remember what an x-intercept is? Yes?
It crosses it like the X, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a point on the x-axis, right? So something that looks like this. So some point on the x-axis. What about a y-intercept? A point on the y-axis. So something like this. So this would be an x-intercept and a y-intercept. That's pretty easy to remember, right? Now, does anyone remember how, when you have an x-intercept, the point, what's the y value? 0. Very good. So some number and 0. So then what do you think happens at the y-intercept? What would the x be? Good. 0 and some number y. So that's how intercepts work. It's those points where the other variable is 0, right? So what you're going to do on your assignment today is you're going to use the calculator to graph the equation that's given to you, and then find your x-intercept and your y-intercept, and use that to help you graph it by hand. So it's super simple. The equations are given to you in standard form. That's when the x and the y are on the same side. So if we were to do one, let's say 5x minus 3y equals 15. To do this with the calculator, you're going to take it and open a blank graph. So everyone open a blank graph on your calculator. I'm going to grab a calculator so I can do it with you. Is there anyone who doesn't know how to open the graph? Okay. We all got that? Okay. So on the blank graph, pull up where you can see like where you would type in. So it should say like F1x at the top where you would type in something. But instead of typing it in like that, we have to be able to type it like this. So if you'll just backspace over the equal sign, there's going to be a little pop-up box that comes up, and you'll see like y less than, y equal to. Is that what you see that?
Relation?
And yes, you're going to hit relation. So the sixth one that says relation. So I'm going to go down to 6. And now it says relation xy. Anybody need help getting there? Everybody's got it? Okay. And then you're going to type in the equation exactly as it's given to you. So in this case, it's 5x minus 3y equals 15. And it will graph the line for you. So before you go to graph, what we want to do is we want to find our x and y intercepts. And luckily the calculator has a super easy way of doing it using trace. So if you'll hit menu, and then you'll go down to trace, it's number 5. And then just hit graph traces 1. What that's going to do is, so it's going to go ahead and start you always with your y-intercept. And in parentheses, you'll see the point. So for this one, it says 0, negative 5. So we know that our y-intercept is 0, negative 5. This is the whole point. The negative 5, you're right, is the y, but the whole point is 0, negative 5. So then, if you just hit the right arrow over, it's going to just take you up in steps, and you're looking to go to the x-intercept. So you're just going to keep going until you get to the x-axis, and what point do we get there?
Oh, 3.
Good. So for our x-intercept, we got 3, 0. Did anybody not get that? Does everybody see how that worked? Excellent. So then on your paper, you would graph 3, 0, you would plot that point, and you would plot 0, negative 5, and draw a line through them. And you're done. Voila. Not too bad, right? Any questions about how to do that? And that wasn't the first one, so don't plot those on your first question, because I just made one up. No questions at all? We feel good about it? Okay. And then on the back, that is old stuff. So that's distance, midpoint, slope. There's a couple like special angles, like vertical or linear pair. So that's the old stuff. The formulas are still on the board. So do the front first, but that should go pretty quickly, and then you can start on the back. And I am right next door if you have any questions, okay?
How do you, like, on the calculator, how it shows you the points when it hits the...
Oh, how do you get to that part? You do menu, and then 5,
Oh,
and then 1.
can't you put the trace step to 5, right?
Yes, you can put the trace step to whatever you like. If you want to change it, that's totally fine. I would suggest 1, because then it'll just take you to the next whole number. Any other questions? Okay, I think you guys got it, but come let me know if you need help, okay? Thank you guys. All right.